I got it. I've got it. Hey, Bobby.
Bring the camera in.
Hey, come here. Come here. I've got you, Bobby.
What's your name?
You're alright.
What's your name? What's your name, sweetheart?
My name is Cleo.
Your name is
You're all
Cleo.
right.
Hello, Cleo.
New audio revealing the moment police found Cleo Smith after 18 agonising days.
She's still bubbly and she's laughing. You know, she's falling asleep in her mother's arms. You know, there was one occasion where she asked if she could just lay next to Mum and have Ellie look at her while she fell asleep.
We have a man in custody and those investigations are continuing.
Today, police confirmed they believe Terry Kelly, the 36-year-old man at the centre of the case, acted alone. But they're keeping quiet on the exact evidence that finally led them to the missing child.
It's a bit of a painstaking process. Obviously there's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of pieces of information, so it's really joining those dots.
Already visibly injured, the man in custody was taken back to hospital this morning.
Did he harm himself inside the police station?
That's what I believe.
Forensics continue to scour the house where Cleo was found. The 4-year-old said to be in good spirits and playing with her baby sister when the Premier visited today with 2 new teddy bears in tow.
We gave her the 2 little police teddies, which we named Cameron and Rod. Cameron and Rod Senior didn't seem to like that much, but I think that's appropriate. She's just bubbly, playing, friendly, and she was just delightful.
But despite Cleo's high spirits, extreme sensitivity will be needed when she's eventually interviewed.
We have specialists here that we've brought up for Perth. They'll sit down with the family as well, and it'll take as long as it takes.
For now, Cleo's family, her community and supporters across the country are simply relieved she's back home. Well, criminologist Xanthi Mallet joins us now. Xanthi, first of all, it sounds like Cleo is in very happy spirits. Does that surprise you?
Absolutely. So after 18 days of being away from her family with a stranger, I was frankly surprised that she was found alive and physically well. To see her so happy was extraordinary yesterday, and the scenes have obviously led to elation by everybody because this is such an unexpected result from cases such as this.
The suspect has been in and out of hospital, and police are not interviewing him yet. They're describing it as though they're waiting for him to be fit to be interviewed before they go ahead and interview him. What are the stakes on that if they get that timing wrong?
Yeah, they have to make sure that he is fully fit, that he's medically fit to be interviewed. Otherwise, any evidence that they may collect during interview may be declared inadmissible later on. So they have to make sure, to serve justice, that everything that's achieved in that interview can be heard later. So it's absolutely right. They're not in a hurry. You know, they have a suspect in custody. Meanwhile, they're collecting all sorts of other types of evidence from the home in which Cleo was found. So they're just going to take their time, make sure that everything is just right before they go ahead and interview.
They've also requested additional CCTV footage. What do you think they'd be looking for?
Well, what they need to do is really discover where their suspect was from just before Cleo obviously was abducted, right the way through until he was arrested. So they need to piece together that picture of movements. You know, potentially was there somewhere else where Cleo was held? So they really need to make sure they've got a very clear picture of where he was at all times.
Xanthi, lots of people have been sharing thoughts and theories about the case on social media. Is it possible that that's going to be a problem for a future trial?
No, it certainly could be. That has happened in cases previously, and I've actually seen some more on social media this evening. And I would just say to everybody, you know, people in Carnarvon will know this individual, maybe more widely than that. So I would just urge everyone to stay off social media. If they have, theories or want to, talk about this case and what they think happened, do that in private. Social media is not the place for that. And they don't want to be in a position where they do jeopardize any kind of investigation or trial process later by sharing information inappropriately online.
Xanthi, so good to speak to you about it. Appreciate your time.
Thank
you. I've got 2 little kids, 2 little girls, and we didn't even speak a word about this case in my house until yesterday, and suddenly there's good news, and it was such a relief that it's kind of a story that you can safely discuss with your children. I mean, with limited details, but it was, I didn't even intend to, but my daughters walked in on my husband and I talking about how Cleo had been found and asked questions, and it actually is a real relief to have a story with a happy ending because you can talk about stranger danger, but gosh, it's less awful to talk about with your children. Do you know what I mean?
How did they react?
Oh, do you know what? They were really quite emotionally neutral about it. We said she was missing for over 2 weeks and the police found her, and that's why it's really important to, you know, call out if a stranger tries to take you away. Anyway, and they were like, oh, yeah, and then just tried to find a snack in the cupboard. That just didn't feel it at all. Meanwhile, my husband and I are shaking about it. Yeah.